Things are heating up in the ESL Pro League Season 19 Championship as the quarterfinals began today with two epic series that would see Complexity triumph over Virtus Pro and G2 unfortunately unable to get it over the line versus Mouz, who continue to look like one of the very best teams in the world. There was nothing but compelling Counter-Strike up and down no matter where you went today. We got to see the best out of teams like Complexity and Mouz, and unfortunately the worst of teams like Virtus Pro and G2 reared its ugly head. So if you missed the action, you're in the right place, as we're going to be going over everything, good, bad, the in-between. So grab yourself a drink, get your favorite snack, kick your feet up on that table because you've had a long day, and lock in for this recap. And while you do that, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel down below. It helps out immensely in the YouTube algorithm. Many of you who watch these videos are not subscribed, so do it. It costs you nothing. And while you're down there, speaking of costs, consider becoming a channel member. For $5 a month, you can support me directly in what we do here. Right now, it's emotes, emblems, and a shout out in the description and at the end of the video. But there's more stuff coming soon. I just got to work out some kinks. And lastly, make sure you follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/LionHeartZ1337. I stream Sunday through Friday, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be there tonight playing Counter-Strike, opening cases, wasting money, wasting headshots, talking about EPL, so come by and say hi. Alright, our first series of the day was the much anticipated for me matchup between Complexity and Virtus Pro. And listen, guys, I'm just gonna be honest, as long as Complexity continue to win series, you can bet your ass that I'm gonna be here and be insufferable. So let's just get this out of the way. Get ready, you're about to witness some America posting, so if that offends you, you need to look away now. Alright? Okay, here we go. Woo! Baby, let's go! It looks like it's not jam time today, dickheads! Hey, Electronic, where's Simple? Oh, he's not here! Woo! USA! 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 Yes! 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 Alright, Google, tell me what the fuck a kilometer is, cause I don't know, cause all I see is freedom reigning, baby! Woo! In all seriousness though, this game was an absolute shellacking. Complexity were in control from start to finish. It felt like Virtus Pro wasn't relevant at all on either map. Like listen, it's a 13-9 affair on Ancient, and VP, they look good on their T side though it's a rough start. Liege is just dynamic the entire game, completely unstoppable, and once they swap to the T side, Complexity run Virtus Pro the fuck over and send them packing. I could get into the nuances about how Complexity are using Liege like a battered ram, sending him into map spaces where he shouldn't be able to do anything, but he somehow pulls out multi-kills like it's going out of style. Liege might be one of the best multi-killing riflers I have ever seen. His spray control deep into the magazine is almost second to none. The only thing I've seen relevant to him this year has been Donk, and previous to that, at some points Nico, and then the OG Spray Lord himself, Get Right. Now listen, I could go deeper here, but as a true, questionably high school educated American who just loves the game more than anything, I'm gonna sit here, crack open my Budweiser, and by Budweiser I mean sparkling water because I don't like beer, and just say, brother, them boys can play. On the Virtus Pro side of things, this is a true Virtus Pro disaster class. James isn't really able to get the impact he needs. The only person even remotely positive is Flit, and Electronic bottom frags Ancient. He bottom frags Vertigo, and he bottom frags the series. And looking at some of the comms and some of the player cams after the rounds, it's very clear there is a miscommunication going on between how Virtus Pro want to play and how Electronic want to play, and that was my #1 fear with Electronic entering this team. Electronic wants to play aggressive, that is his style, and that is antithetical to how James approaches the game of Counter-Strike. And it's on James to grow as a leader and adapt to what he has at his disposal, because this team on paper is some of the best firepower, total firepower in the world. And right now, they are not in sync, they are not using themselves to the highest ability they could be, and that's why they're going out of Pro League. I don't even need to talk about Vertigo. 13-3. VP do nothing on this map. Nothing at all worth mentioning. Their CT side was terrible, out of sync, bad utility. The T side never even got to come online because the game was already over. And again, you just look at Complexity, and it's night and day in terms of how this team is being led. They are utilizing Grim and Elise perfectly right now as amazing entry fragging on a level that we haven't seen out of the top 10 in some time, and that's why Complexity looks so dangerous, because when they're hitting their shots, they are one of the most hard to deal with teams in the world. Now listen, that doesn't mean I'm not scared shitless about having to play Mouz in the semifinals. Mouz are legit. Unlike VP, this is a team very much in sync, and they are designed to punish a team as top heavy as Complexity. Complexity are riding a high right now, but man, it's going to be a tough one next. Alright, and by far the more interesting series to talk about was G2 versus Mouz. And going into this, I have been riding the G2 hype train. I think they've looked really good at this tournament. I thought that Nico had turned around his form. They were looking better as a unit. And so I actually had a lot of confidence they could be competitive in this series. If you cast your mind back to my prediction video, I still expected Mouz to win this because I think they are the better overall team. But then G2 went out and they had some really good performances through the early rounds of the playoffs. So I was a little more suspect about Mouz's ability to pull it through if G2 played as optimally as we've seen them play previously. However, it was very clear that G2 were not prepared at all to deal with what Mouz had to offer. Even though they win really handily on Inferno, congrats. G2 is one of the best Inferno teams in the world. The way they control the B side of Inferno on both sides, T and CT, is nearly unparalleled in World Counter-Strike, and because of it, it's really hard to beat G2 on Inferno. And the stats back that up, and we're going to reference a lot of stats here and understand why G2 lost this game in the veto as well as in the server. G2 on Inferno currently the last 3 months have an 82% win rate. They've only lost one time, and that was at Chengdu to Liquid, admittedly a close game 9-13. So all in all, G2 could have come into this tournament being undefeated on Inferno. Mouz like to play Inferno as well, so I don't mind it being picked by Mouz, but you should expect if you're Mouz that this is not going to be a map you're going to win easily. It's an uphill battle, and that played out in the server. G2 dominated Inferno. They gave Mouz no recourse whatsoever. It's 13-3. It's over really quick. G2 are firing on all cylinders, and Mouz weren't able to get anything going. And it looks like G2 are going to ride the momentum into the next map. However, G2 made what I would consider to be an unforgivable blunder in the veto by allowing Vertigo to be picked. Now listen, the astute members of the audience may be saying right now, but listen, Lion, you don't understand. The last 2 times that G2 played Mouz, they beat them on Vertigo. But here's the thing. Vertigo is one of Mouz's most played maps in the last 6 months, and the only losses they've taken on it were from G2. One of them was at the Blast Premier World Final, 11-13. That's a close game. And the other one was back in the Major, where merely 6-13, G2 controlled that game, they took a comfortable win. Other than that, Mouz are very comfortable playing Vertigo, so what makes you think, as G2, that they would not have prepped to play Vertigo against you? And even then, when you look at G2 stats, Vertigo is one of their worst maps. Same sample size, 6 months. G2 have a 3-4 record on Vertigo. 2 of their 3 wins are against Mouz. Other than that, they are not a good Vertigo team. So why the hell is HOOXi making a public statement that you guys didn't even prep to play Mouz on Vertigo? I don't want to speak out of turn. Here's the direct quote from HOOXi in the post-game interview. We were not really prepared for them to pick Vertigo because we beat them 2 times on it, so we focused more on other maps, and that hurt us a little bit. I don't understand. Just looking at the stats, it's clear that Mouz like to play Vertigo. Yes, they have lost to you twice on it, so why the hell wouldn't they prep it more to be able to play you on it and beat you on it? And you didn't prep it at all, and you left it on the table. A map you did not prep for, you allowed to be picked. Why not just ban it if you didn't prep it? It makes no sense to me. This was an awful pick, and you know what happens? We go on to Vertigo, and G2 get their ass handed to them. The 13-8 scoreline is lying. It was a 10-2 first half. And the play from G2 on their CT side was so sloppy. Bad utility, bad flashes, lack of trades, bad swings. The team setups look sloppy and unprepared because, oh wait, you didn't prep the goddamn map. Nico was getting owned by Xerxin in the 1v1s. Xerxin for this series had 15 kills against Nico alone. That is unacceptable. Nico, you were supposed to be one of the best players in the world. I have praised you previously for unlocking your previous form in other series, but when the lights were brightest, you choked. And then we go to Nuke. Oh my god, we went to Nuke. Nuke, a map, mind you, that Mouz have a 37% win rate on in the last 6 months. It is not one of their best maps. Even in the last 3, they are barely even on Nuke, 3-3. This Mouz team lost to Furia on Nuke, and G2 let them run their asses over 13-4. Are you kidding me? And I'm looking directly at HOOXi. Nico, Munacy, you guys did not play to your level, but I give you a fucking pass. Because at least Munacy had 22 fucking kills or 25 or whatever he had on Vertigo. At least you guys were trying. I am looking directly at HeartZ and Taz. The leadership of this team is garbage. I've given HeartZ the pass in the past because in prior tournaments, it was the fragging that really let them down. But HeartZ has got to be one of the worst in-game leaders in the top 10. And if you're G2 and you're not looking to replace his ass after he made these statements, after they so poorly prepped for a quarterfinals of one of the biggest tournaments on the calendar, then I don't know what the hell we're doing here. Guys, Glaive is playing for a dog shit team with Ents. Glaive, one of the best in-game leaders ever. I don't care if Glaive is terrible, washed up garbage. There is no way he can be worse than HeartZ, at least as a fragger, definitely as an in-game leader. Are you kidding me? Glaive was one of the best minds in Counter-Strike. You guys should be selling everything to get this man on your team, or somebody. HeartZ's days should be numbered. G2 need to make a change because m0NESY is arguably the #1 player in the world. Nico looks like he might have recovered some form. Nico could be better going into next tournaments. That might happen, but the leadership for this team is trash. And that's why they go out, because Mouz are a better led team, they are a more consistent team, and that's why they beat them in this series. Alright. Tone it down. Didn't mean to get that heated, but I want to see G2 do well, and this was a despicable showing. Straight up. Just straight up. Anyways, G2 are out. Mouz go forward. That is fine. We have more quarterfinals coming tomorrow, so make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe for more recaps coming your way. How are your brackets and predictions going? So far, everything has played out exactly as I thought it would. All my predictions have been correct. I am the truth. I am esports. I am Counter-Strike. Praise me in the comments. Anyways, shout out to my channel members, Furley, Justin, and Jesse for keeping the lights on. I appreciate you guys immensely. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon with the next recap. You guys have a wonderful day. Peace.